everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am gonna do a mini review of a few different products that I have recently gotten from the brand called G Beauty. I had seen this brand all over social media. I hadn't really seen a ton of other people talk about it. I know Abby talked about it in a video. And then I had a friend of mine text me and say, have you tried anything? I have tried a couple of things and I really enjoy them. I would love to hear your thoughts. So that's all it takes. Add to cart. And that's what I did. And I have been trying these products out for a few weeks. I have 4 products, all complexion products. However, they have a wide array of selections. They have mascara, they have eyeshadow, they have powder products for the face, like bronzers. They have liquid highlighters, powder highlighters. They have a setting powder. I didn't get any of those things, but it is an all-encompassing makeup brand. They don't just have a couple of products. And I do think I will probably try more. But this video is just showing how I use 4 of them, letting you know what I think about them. So if you are interested, let's jump in. If you can't notice, which of course you can because my dark circles are out to play today, I don't have any corrector on. I don't have a corrector from G Beauty, but I'm going to use this first product that I'm going to talk about up under the eyes before I use the concealer that I have. This, I feel like, is the hero product of G Beauty. At least it's what I kept seeing over and over and over again on social media, on YouTube ads, and it is the Prime Skin by G Beauty. The packaging is kind of misleading in a way because this is a fairly large package and you almost look at it thinking, wow, I'm getting a lot of product, but it is the basic 1 ounce of product that typically comes in any kind of foundation. However, this is marketed as different than a foundation. They call this a hybrid skin tint with a subtle glow. And everything that I've watched from them so far describes this as either a primer, a skin tint, or your basic foundation. So it can be used underneath another foundation, it can be used alone, it can be used under a powder foundation. You can set it, you cannot set it, all different ways. I mean, that's to be true for a lot of foundations, but this one is a hybrid primer slash skin tint slash foundation. It does have 9 shades. I got the shade number 3. And from what I've seen on reviews, the shades are very forgiving and there are a lot of different skin tones that can fall under the umbrella of 1 shade. So if you're not sure whether to get 2 or 3, for example, that was me. I didn't know, oh, do I get 2 or do I get 3? I got 3 and I think I would have been fine with either one, but 3 definitely works. I actually got the set that came with their brush just because I wanted to try some of their brushes, or at least one of them. That's all I have so far, but they looked nice and I wanted to try one of them. So this is the base brush, which again comes in a set. I will link it separate as well as in the set down below. So how you access the product is you twist the cap and the pump comes out. When I'm looking at the how to use, it says to apply 2 pumps into hand, take the base brush and apply a small amount to skin in circular motion. So that's what we're going to do to start with. This is, again, the shade number 3. You can see the consistency is not so thick that it's not running down my hand, but it's also not so runny that it completely runs off my hand. I'm gonna pick it up with the base brush like the directions say, and we'll see how it compares once I do half my face. So what is Prime Skin? It has a light coverage with a soft blur finish and flexible color technology that adapts and warms up to your skin tone. It is designed to be worn in place of foundation if you choose so. It is breathable with a lightweight formula, long-lasting, natural-looking finish, and it contains hyaluronic acid to help with hydration, and it is free of parabens and synthetic fragrances. They do have a shade matching service on their website if you are not sure what shade to get. So this side I have on the Prime Skin and this side I do not. I'm actually have a lot more redness today and honestly this week. This time of the hormonal month I get a lot more red and it is showcasing in my skin. So I do have a little bit more to cover up, but I feel like this did a good job with a light coverage and it does have a glow. So again, this is just with my SPF. I'm wearing the ultraviolet matte SPF today. And so this does give more of a luminosity to the skin. I used almost the full 2 pumps. Now, obviously, if I were to dot this on and then go in with a brush, I would get a larger use out of a smaller amount of product. I wanted to showcase how they say to use it, but I do tend to dot it on and then go and blend it. And in that case, I can get a full face with 2 pumps. When I pick it up from my hand like this, I need more like 3. So, you know, it's just a personal preference. A lot of people might say you're using too much product. I get that comment a lot actually when I do different foundation reviews or just a simple like get ready with me. A lot of people are like, oh, you use too much product. And you know, I could easily watch them put on makeup and say you didn't use enough. It's a personal preference. I'm simply showing you how I do it. And once you get the product, if you get the product, you can do whatever you want with it. You can use half a pump, you can use 10 pumps. It's not my face, it's not my business. I'm just telling you how I do it. I do really like this brush. It's very soft. I don't feel like a ton of product is trapped inside the bristles. I mean, there's gonna be some, but you know, some foundation brushes get really gunked up with hydrating products like this, and I can only use them like once, maybe twice before I have to wash them in order for the bristles to stay like they were originally. I don't find that's the issue with this brush. I actually really like it. So this is 3 pumps. Now, I have used this in every way they state to use it. I have used it as a primer. I have used it under powder foundation. I have used it on its own, and I like it always. Today, I am going to use it as more of a primer / first base. However, before I do that, I'm gonna do something I've never tried before, and I'm gonna use this in place of a corrector. I'm gonna take a very tiny amount, and because it has priming properties in it, which a lot of people ask me, I don't typically use primers. I don't feel the need for them. I feel like my skincare and skin prep are sufficient enough. However, I don't have super oily skin and I don't have extra large pores. In those cases, I would suggest a primer, and I use primers on clients in those cases. Myself, I don't. So I'm just going to kind of press that in. And I mean, this isn't a corrector, so I'm not going to review it as one. I just really want to showcase how the concealer works. So I did not want to go in with any of my normal correctors. And now I just feel like, well, I've primed my under eyes for that concealer. Before we go on to that concealer, I am going to showcase the foundation stick. So this one is marketed as more of an actual foundation. It comes in more shades, which makes sense. It has 17 shades and it retails for $40. I don't think I said the Prime Skin retails for $58. This has 0.35 ounces, which is very normal for a stick cream foundation. And I am in the shade, what shade am I in? I always cover it up. Here we go. I moved my label. I'm in the shade number 8, which is beige. So this says that it contours, it covers, and it smooths. So you can obviously get a darker color if you want a cream contour. It says it has medium to full coverage. It illuminates the skin. It feels lighter than concealer. Breathable, buildable, creamy smooth for an easy application. This is the shade beige. I don't even know. Yeah, you can see it right here. So it's definitely not yellow. In fact, it is more neutral, maybe a tiny slight bit of pink, but not enough to show up by any means once it's applied and blended out. I have not tried this as concealer. If you are a fan of cream concealers, it's definitely something that could be tried. But what I like to do with this is to just do a couple stripes on the areas of my face that have the most redness, which is typically my cheeks and my chin. And then I will take that same base brush, which at first I was a little like apprehensive. I'm like, this is a little too fluffy to really blend out creams, but you can see it does in like a second. Definitely something you can use all over as a foundation. I just don't feel like with that Prime Skin you need it, and I think that's the point. It's all about layering what you need where you need it, as opposed to having 4 layers on your face that cover your entire face, and then you've got a very big buildup of product. So that right there took care of any extra redness that I had. And again, I don't need much. This is gonna last me quite a long time because I only use it when I'm using this. Now, if I was using it by itself, I'd probably use more, but when I'm using this, I only need it in those areas that I just put it on. Let's talk about the G Beauty Brightening Concealer. This was honestly just an add-on real quick, like an add to cart. Let's try it out. Let's just give it a try. I'm not really expecting much of it. And maybe it's because I wasn't expecting a lot from it, or maybe it's just because it's excellent, that this is by far my favorite product out of the 4 that I'm showcasing today. I love this concealer. I love how it wears under the eyes. Now, I have not tried it without a corrector, so we will see together how much coverage it has. I know for a fact that it doesn't have full coverage. In fact, reading the copy, it claims to have medium coverage. It's a creamy liquid concealer that instantly brightens the eyes, has a natural radiant looking finish, adds hydration, medium long wear coverage. Skin looks instantly luminous, refreshed, and balanced. Now, this is another way you could incorporate something over prime skin. If you did not want to get the foundation stick or use any extra foundation, if you only had certain spots that you needed concealed, definitely go in with this concealer or any concealer to ensure you don't have too much product on your face. I think that's all you're gonna need if you don't need a lot concealed. I got the shade number 3. This comes in 7 shades and it retails for $38. It has I want to say a typical doe foot. If you can see, I'm putting it on its side and it kind of tapers in a little bit. It's kind of flattened on either side. And I started using this just like I saw them use it on Instagram. I kind of got sucked into watching a lot of the lives that they've done in the past. And I take it and do 4 stamps of the product under the eye. So I'll do 2 stamps, turn the product over, 2 stamps, or turn the doe foot over. And then what I've been doing, I'm taking my Rephr B05 brush. This is something that I purchased off the concept store, and I don't know if it's still available. I got it for super cheap. I got this and a foundation for $30 for both of them. So I don't know if it's still available, but hopefully once all the concept orders have gone out and feedback has been gotten, it will come out permanently. But I really like this. It's one of those kind of, everybody calls it like a kitten paw. I don't even know where that originated, but that's what they call it. And so I've been taking this with any concealer that I have been using and pressing it in. I'm not blending anything out, I'm just pressing it in. So it's not completely blended out. And then I'm gonna wait like 60 seconds or something. I'll go on in and do something else. I'll check an email on my phone, and then I will go in and completely blend it out. So it's been like a minute. I am gonna take the BK Beauty 109, which is just a little larger, and do the same thing I did with that smaller brush, just to ensure that the edges are blended out, but I don't really wanna move it around. So hopefully you'll be able to see, I do think this is medium coverage. Like, it's definitely much darker on this side. Now I have pretty deep troughs of my under eyes, so I'm gonna have a shadow no matter what. I could put the fullest coverage concealer under my eyes and I would still have a shadow, but it's definitely lessened with this side with the concealer. And I just can't stress enough how much I enjoy this. It just wears so, so beautifully. So I just set it with my Pat McGrath under eye setting powder. And again, can't speak highly enough about it. I only have one other product that I purchased, and it is a blush stick, specifically the color stick. And this comes in 7 shades and it retails for $36. I have the shade Pinky Beam. So it comes like this. I'm trying to see how much product is in it. 6 grams of product are in these. And it is a roll up cream stick. Oh. It just fell out. Y'all. Well, this is the color. Yikes. We'll have to be very careful with that. I don't know if that's something that happens with all of them or not, but well, all right, this is Pinky Beam. And y'all, apparently I was just going for Barbie because this is exactly a Barbie pink. It's a cotton candy. It's more Barbie, it's just Barbie. That's how I explain looking at a pink like this. You can apply this directly and blend it out. You can pick it up with a brush and blend it out. I'm just gonna put a couple of little stripes and then immediately take a brush and pat it in. Keeping it a little higher on the cheekbone, bringing it down some with whatever's left over after blending it. And then I can build it up from there. But I'm gonna tell you, these are very pigmented. The first time I used this blush, I went in with way too much. Well, way too much for me, okay? If somebody that loves blush may not think that's the case, and they may have thought I wasn't wearing enough, but for me, it was a lot. So I like to start out and build up from there, especially because I'm gonna be putting a powder over this when I finally set everything, which means it's gonna dial it back a little bit anyways. So I just like to layer until I get to a point where I feel like once the powder's applied, it's gonna be the exact tone that I want. Isn't that a pretty color? I mean, if you like a pink blush, this is a very pretty color. It does not have any kind of sheen or shimmer that I can see to my eyes, but being a cream product, it is gonna have a little bit of luminosity just by nature of the formula. And just be careful when you open it, because that was the first time, I've used this a couple times, that was the first time that happened. Those are the only G Beauty products that I have, so I'm gonna finish up my makeup real quick and come back on and tell you my final thoughts. Okay, makeup is done. All I did was add a little bit of powder, bronzer, highlight, and then I did my eyes. Now for lips, I did take a little bit of this Pinky Beam and kind of tap it on with my hands, and then I applied a gloss over the top. So that's another way that you can use these color sticks. Final thoughts, if you haven't gathered, I actually really like all of these products that I have purchased. The two standouts for me are the Prime Skin, just because I love the versatility. I love how it looks when first applied to the skin. I have used it without setting it. When I wanted a literal no makeup day, I will put this on, or when I did do it, I put this on, some mascara and lip gloss, and went about my day. I didn't even do concealer, and it looked really pretty. Obviously more glowy than if I were to powder it down like I did today. It is hydrating to the skin. It plumps the skin. It just has looked good every time that I've used it, and I've had no trouble with the wear with this either. Like it hasn't patched off or worn off or felt like it wasn't there by the time I washed my face at night. And it has not irritated my skin, which is a big plus as well. And then obviously the concealer. I just really, really like this concealer. If you are looking for something medium coverage that wears really well under the eyes, this is the one to go to. I have not tried this where I have not set it, because I tend to always set my concealer, but I'm sure it would work fine that way too. So these are definitely the standouts, but I do still enjoy the blush stick. A little disappointing that it broke, but maybe that was my fault. I don't know. I like the color of it. Again, the ease of use. And I do like the foundation. I need to try this foundation on its own without using the Prime Skin. I just think they look so good together that I haven't done that yet. But I will, and keep y'all updated, but so far so good. And I love that I only need to use a very minimal amount to get the coverage that I want on top of that Prime Skin. And quite honestly, I really like this brush. If you are interested in the Prime Skin, I would highly suggest looking into the set that I got of the Prime Skin and the brush. And they have a lot of different bundles you can get. So if you're wanting to check something else out, definitely check out the bundles section on their website. So hopefully this was helpful. Have you heard of this brand? Do you have anything else from this brand? Have you tried the products I've tried? Let us all know down in the comment section below. I will have all of these products listed and linked in the description box. Thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos, and I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.